to the cloud, started recording introduction into the SPI courses. So I'm going to introduce the different courses of SPI and the system of SPI. So SPI is a Canadian institute, education institute. So the certificate is from Canada. It started in 1996. So it's been there for a couple of years now. Okay, more than 25 years. SPI is accredited by Europreps. Okay, from Europe Active for Europreps, also is accredited in the UAE by UAE Reps. What is UAE Reps? You all know, if you want to work in gyms, they ask you need to have the personal training UAE Reps. In the UAE, they call it level 3. Okay, that was the old naming of the personal training as level 3. Now they moved into categories. Instead of saying level 2, level 3, they say category A. It means the personal training. It's the same calling and naming, but in Europe, they call it level 4 for the personal training. In UAE, they call it level 3, and it got confusing. People saying, oh, this is level 3, this is level 4. It's the same level. It is the personal training level. Okay, so level 3, category A, it is the personal training level. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you which courses that are to give you the personal training level 3 or category A for the Reps UAE. Our courses are also approved by ACSM. What does it mean? So, you know, in every system, you need to renew your certificate. You need to take continuing education. All right. So ACSM have seen the SPI material, have seen the instructor and all this, and approves that it's up to the level. So whenever someone take SPI courses, also on the certificate, you will have ACSM approved provider for continuing education. It means how many hours of study, and you can use this to renew your certifications in the future. But also it's an added value being accredited in Europe, being accredited in the UAE, and also being approved by American College of Sports Medicine, and the certificate coming from Canada. So usually this is the question people ask, can I work abroad in different countries? All right, so the answer is yes, in many, many countries. So this is in terms of certification. So we've been in the Middle East since 2000. Actually, in 3 weeks, it's going to be 21 years. So we can say we've been giving education for 21 years into the Middle East. So what are the different courses of SPI? Usually, the most important courses are called the entry qualification. Why do they call them entry qualification? Okay, because someone who want to work in the field, want to start in terms of personal training, want to enter the field, they want to have a certificate where they can apply into gyms and say, I'm a personal trainer or a fitness instructor. So for us, we move directly into the personal training category A level. And to do that, there are 2 courses that are required. The advanced weight training technique course, okay, and the training for health and fitness course. The advanced weight training technique course, briefly, it is the technical part of the personal training. The name of the muscles, the name of the exercise, how to train the different exercise, how to approach the client, how to correct from different angles, the technique of the exercise within the proper communication, how to give proper feedback, all of these, and balance training and the advanced weight training technique. But once you know the technique and you correct the exercise, you still want to know how to design a professional program. So to design a professional program, that's a training for health and fitness. We start with the physiology, detailed exercise physiology, and then we talk a little bit about nutrition, especially carbohydrate, and then we move into the cardiovascular fitness, and then how to put a program for the cardiovascular fitness, how to put the program for fat burning, and then warm up, cool down, stretching. You know, some people say you're not supposed to stretch at the beginning. Other people say, oh, yes, you can stretch at the beginning. And some people say, no, at the end of the workout, when you work legs really hard, you're not supposed to stretch the legs. You know, you do trigger point, is better. And other people still stretch. So it gets so confusing. And the answer is actually, it's correct for all of them. And it depends on the fitness level, on the category of the person, and all of these. So in this course, we talk in detail about these issues, including weight training. How many sets? How many repetitions? Okay, which days we're supposed to train the same muscle, how long the recovery time, what about recovery week, how do we rest the muscles, how we combine the fat burning with the weight training, with the stretching, and all of these. So the end of this course is to design a program for a beginner, for intermediate, and for advanced. Okay, and some of you already have done so. And an important point is that for you to be able to get your certificate, make sure that you have the CPR AED certificate. Okay, this is a requirement, international, including the reps UAE, because, you know, if somebody have a heart attack, you should know in the fitness field what to do. So this is a precaution. It's a one-day thing, not hard, but it's requirement for you to receive your certificate. So each one of those two courses is a certificate, but once you complete both, then you receive immediately the third certificate with it as a personal trainer. Okay, now in a couple of pages, I'm going to show you the certificate, how it looks like, and all of this. All right, but this is called entry qualification. This is what you need to start working. But when you start working, you start to get special cases where people are asking about more and more detail. And at the same time, you are asked to renew your certification every 3 years. Also, I'm going to explain regarding this issue. To do that, you're going to require continuing education. So it's a good thing for you to renew your certificate, for re-registering in the reps UAE, for you also to become more specialized, to invest in more specialized courses. Okay, these courses will help you reach to more professional personal trainer. All right. And by the end of 2021, those who take more and more courses, they will be able to receive not only the personal training certificate, actually, we're moving into having professional personal training diploma. Okay. What are those courses? Nutrition, sports nutrition, lifestyle fitness coach, post rehabilitation, recovery advanced stretching technique, sports athletic training, fitness management, fitness marketing. So I'm going to talk about each one of those courses. Okay, but before moving into detail about each one of those courses, I just want to show you the different certificate. Okay, how it's received. So the advanced weight training technique, we said this is the technical part of the personal training. With the training for health and fitness, the program design is going to help you reach the personal training. Okay. Exams, attendance are very important. Okay, so that's why it's very important to attend live, and this is a requirement from the accreditation, is that people are there to ask questions, and Zoom is considered as live training because you get the chance to discuss, we get the chance to ask questions. Exams, usually this is the way we set the exams. Okay, it take around 1 hour and a half. The passing grade for an exam is 70%. Okay, it's not hard. If you're attending the course, throughout the course, we're always stating and mentioning this is good for the exam, this is what you need to study. We do reviews, we tell you how to study it. So if you're studying all along, this part is not hard. All right, let's say you did not get a passing grade of 70%. You have the option to do a second exam. Okay, a second exam, also you need to get above 70%. So most people, in case couple of people were not able to pass due to language, due to challenges, they have a second chance. In case they did not pass the second chance, okay, in this case, what they need is to repeat the course. It doesn't mean you pay for the whole course. We have a fee just to re-enter the course. Sometimes people come to the course even if they pass the exam. After a year or two, they say, I want to refresh my memory. Okay, so you can re-attend the course and then redo the exam. So as long you're going all the way, we're here to help until you pass, you get your certificate, and you continue. Some courses, like the nutrition, like the training for health and fitness, they have a project as an assignment. These assignments also at the end of the course is like writing the program. This is what personal training is, right? Write the program. So the assignment is to write the program for a beginner, intermediate, advanced. And these assignments, there is no grading. It's either pass or pass or pass You don't fail. You just keep on fixing it and repeating it until you pass. If you keep on taking the instruction and correct those instructions, then you will pass the assignment. All right? So it's just taking things into practice. So as I said, once you take the advanced weight training or training for health and fitness, you can start in any of those two courses. Okay, it doesn't matter. But once you complete each one, you receive a certificate. And once you complete both with the CPR AED, then you will get the third certificate as a certified personal trainer. Okay, here you'll have it, not the EREPS, you'll have it as REPS UAE because you are in the UAE. All right. So this is how it goes. And you'll see here, it have an expiry date. All certifications have expiry date, usually 3 years. SPI have 3 years. Okay. And what do you need to do in the 3 years to renew it is continuing education, which I'm going to explain later on. So it's easy to renew the certificates as long you are in the fitness field. 45 hours. That's it. In 3 years. You know what 45 hours in 3 years is? It's 15 hours per year. 15 hours per year is equivalent to 1 weekend. If you are in the fitness field, it's important to invest 1 weekend of the whole year into education. You know, you can take workshops in terms of technique, of kettlebell, bozo, something like this, or you can take into a more depth certification. And I'm going to show you example like nutrition, like sports medicine, post-rehab, and all of these. Okay, so this is not hard to acquire. Once you have your 45 CECs, what does it mean CECs? Continuing Education Credit. In the UAE, they call it CPD in REPS UAE, Continuing Professional Development. Okay, it means each one CPD or one CEC, it's equivalent to 1 hour of study. These 1 hour sometimes could be taken online as long as it's from really recognized companies. You know, it doesn't have to, you go even attend places. So it's not hard to acquire. Sometimes they do workshops free of charge, you know, for 1-2 hours, and they give you at the end a certificate by email, and they say it's like, say, 1 hour or 2 hours. You just print it and keep it. You know, at the end of the 3 years, as long as you have your 45 hours, then you just renew with the membership, which is super simple. Okay, great. I think in the REPS UAE, you renew your registration every 2 years. So, and in these 2 years, you need to acquire 20 CPD in these 2 years, which means 10 CPD per year. All right, so it's the same concept. So sometimes you're acquiring to renew your certificate, you're also acquiring to renew your REPS UAE certificate. So the whole idea is, yes, you're certified, yes, you start working, but just make sure that you're studying like 10 to 15 hours per year. All right, so this is the explanation. And once you want to renew, make sure that you need to renew also your CPR AED. This is also REPS UAE requirement. Beautiful. So what are the different SPI courses beyond the personal training that can help you reach a more professional level as personal training? Nutrition for optimal health. You know, people come definitely whenever they want to lose weight, they ask about food. Whenever they want to build muscle, they ask about food. Whenever they want to eat, they ask about food. That's a good one. Okay, so nutrition is very important into training. You cannot get the proper body without nutrition. So in the nutrition for optimal health, we cover in detail about fat, carbohydrate, protein, vitamins, minerals, but more important is how to read the labels when you go to the supermarket. You know, the different tricks that are used in marketing. Let me give you an example. If you have a spray of oil, you know, people who want to go on diet, they buy the spray. It's like palm oil, and they write on it 0 fat. Now, tell me how oil, because that's oil. You read the first ingredient and the last ingredient is oil. They say 0 fat. How could oil be 0 fat? How oil could be no fat? And the reason why is because when the serving size is so small, less than half a calorie, okay, less than 0.5. okay, in terms of calorie, very small, less than 5 calories, okay, what 0.5 grams of fat, they are allowed to say zero fat. Now, when people buy that spray, they think it's zero calorie, meaning if they put a lot, it's not going to make a difference. But the reality is the serving size, you know how much they make it small? It's like this. Who on earth is going to spray like this whenever they're going to put oil? They're going to say this is zero calorie and they're going to go shh until they spray the whole place. And this is going to be so many serving, which is not going to be zero calorie. Okay, this is just one of the tricks. There are so many tricks also in terms of the dairy product, in terms of diet light and all of this. So these are good things we can teach our client how to go shopping in the supermarket and choose and correct and choose the right food. How to calculate the calories, okay? And then how to change between more carbs, less carbs, more protein. All this in the nutrition for optimal health course. But then people start asking about supplement. They say, how about whey protein? How about protein? How about creatine? Actually, we talk about it a little bit in the training for health and fitness. How about fat burners? Okay, and there are different supplements. Okay, glutamine. So when people start to ask about supplement, this is in the sports nutrition. The thing is about sports nutrition, it requires the prerequisite of having the nutrition course. Okay, without the nutrition course, you cannot take the sports nutrition because we don't go into detail about the different food and the naming and the terminology, the difference between glucose, fructose, galactose, lactose, so many namings on the labels. So all these are covered in the nutrition. However, if you are a dietitian or a nutritionist who studied the whole 3-4 years, you can immediately register for the sports nutrition. Most of the time, we give them as one course. Okay, so this is the sports nutrition. The second part of the sports nutrition is about athletes. You know, when you have a marathon runner, people who have martial art competition and they want to know what to eat a week before, what to eat 2 days, the night before, when they wake up in the morning, before competition, after competition, you know, to recover fast. But sometimes you have people who exercise every day or instructors who give 2-3 classes every day. Those people need to know how to eat and recover fast to have a good energy by the end of the week. Okay, so for them to know how to eat, then that's a sports nutrition. How much carbohydrate ratio to protein, what kind of carbs before, what kind of carbohydrate after, all this is in the sports nutrition course. Lifestyle fitness coach certification. This is wellness coaching. It's basically life coaching for personal trainer. You're aware now that life coaches, it's something that's been exploding worldwide, and it's a business that's going to keep on growing based on studies continuously. So including life coaching skills in terms of your personal training can actually give you a higher income. You know, when people know they're not supposed to eat sweet, when people know they're not supposed to stay late or, you know, just binge on certain food, and yet you come and tell them and they say, yeah, I know, and they do this, you know, at this moment, if you tell them, they don't need information. People need a transformation. They need to understand this here and how it works. Okay, so this is where we start to use with them the life coaching technique, how to help them change. All right, so it's divided this course into 2 parts. One part based on positive psychology and what research tell us about energy, what brings energy up, how to have more vitality, more energy. You know, what are the things that make people happy based on science, okay? What research have shown us. And another part is life coaching technique in terms of how to ask the right question, how to direct your client into thinking, how to help them set goals into their life. So all of these are into one course. Okay, course is totally my passion. All right, because I love life coaching and wellness coaching. So also it improves your communication with your client. Post rehabilitation. This is the sports medicine part for personal trainers. Okay, so in this certification, you know, sometimes you get people who have injuries They need to go to the physiotherapist, not us. But they finish with the physiotherapy, and now they need to be trained, but they cannot train the regular exercises. So we need to understand what happened with their injury and what can we do for them to transfer them from this weak point into a strong point where they can do the regular fitness exercise. That's why it's called post-rehabilitation. They have done the rehabilitation, it's after that. So you go in this course joint by joint, the injury that happens to the ankle, to the knee, to the hip, to the shoulder, even people, if they are diabetic, people with heart problem, and what us as a trainer can do to help them recover and get better after they are sent from the professionals like physiotherapist and doctor. So this is the sports medicine part of training. Once you start personal training and you start getting a client saying, I have a disc, I have a problem in my neck, the physiotherapist told me you need to train, you will feel that you need these materials right here. Again, the prerequisite for this course is the advanced weight training technique, because you need to know the base anatomy before moving into the detailed small muscle where they get injured anatomy. Okay, so this course have a prerequisite, the advanced weight training. We also have recovery and advanced stretching technique. Sometimes you see client being stretched by the coach. So a client sitting, the coach come, open their hands, stretching it this way, and then they lay down on the floor, and the coach lift their arm up, their leg up, and stretch them, and then flip them to the side, hold them, and they're just like relaxing, feeling, oh, great. Passive stretching. The coach is stretching the client. Sometimes you see client using the ball or the foam roller and the rolling and just like doing like feeling, oh, good massage. We call this trigger point release. This helps also the muscle to relax. And after that, it helps to get better stretching. So all these are in the recovery and advanced stretching technique. Also, how to use your hand in terms of trigger point release. If you don't have machines or you want to do like sort of a massage, and when you're not allowed to do the massage because they have inflammation, and if you want to do massage, how can you do it using the different technique to really release the muscle tension and make them more relaxed? So this could be an added value into your personal training. Clients would love and enjoy. Sports conditioning and athletic fitness training. Once you become a personal trainer, from time to time, you're going to receive a basketball player, Dimitri said, into football players. And for people in this category, the athletic category, want to run the marathon, want to move into martial art competition, those people want to train, but they want to train to win, not only to be looking good and fit. They want performance. Maya, you're saying you love performance. So then athletic fitness training is a wonderful course this way, because here we start to plan differently. Athlete plan for the whole year. They have off season. They have it's type of the year where, they start to build the muscle balance and then build strength. And then they need to build sport specific strength for them to be able to sprint, to jump, whatever the sports needs. And then they need to be ready to do the competition and not lose everything they've done during the year. So they need to do maintenance for everything they develop. So how this is done and how it is integrated, this become athletic fitness training. And the beautiful thing now is that with more functional training and CrossFit and all these kind of, that high athletic type of training that now people love to do, we are seeing athletic type of training for the general population in gyms. So now people are asking, how can I improve my jump? Maybe not for competition, just for them to jump higher and film on Instagram. All right. So for those people, then we need the athletic type of training. So the prerequisite here is training for health and fitness course. You need to know how to design a personal training program for health and fitness before you move into the more detailed athletic part. But this also is interesting. Pilates certification. For those who've done Pilates, there are around 36, 34 moves some places. And each move, it have beginner, intermediate, advanced. When you see someone doing a Pilates exercise, if you're a personal trainer, you will say, well, I know this exercise, I can do it. but it is called the Pilates method. What does it mean, Pilates method? It's a method, it means there is a special technique to do the exercises. Let me give you an example. Someone just doing the crunch, going up and down. In Pilates, they need to what they call zip up. It means bring your core in, navel back to the spine. You know, once you go up, you need to go backward very slowly, one vertebra at a time. You drop it down. Make sure you breathe during this. Contract your transversus abdominis. Some places the pelvic floor muscle need to contract. They are deep muscles. All these, you need a lot of instruction and know how to use this technique. So this is why Pilates is recommended for people with back pain, for people who want to strengthen their core, because it really becomes like a healing thing. All right. So usually people teach Pilates as group classes, but really people who benefit the most is one who give Pilates one-on-one, because then you can be with your client, make sure how they're contracting their muscle and give them the explanation needed for them, and they can get more improvement. All right. So some people take Pilates to give it in their personal training. Group exercise to music. This is for people who want to teach group classes. All right. We already have one who gives Zumba here. All right. And a group dance classes. So how to use the music, how to use your voice to project, how to use the cueing, you know, because not all the time microphone is working, and how to adjust the exercise so everyone in the group can make it, because in personal training, you're one-on-one. But in group, maybe someone is beginner, someone is advanced. So how can you teach multi-level class? All this in the group exercise to music training. Fitness management and fitness marketing. Now, you know, you start as a personal trainer, people love you, you start to have more and more clients, you make good money, and now you have so much clients that you don't have space to coach them. Your dream came true. You say, you know what? I don't want to lose all these clients. I'm going to open my own place. Or maybe you want to apply for a gym management position, you know, in the big chains. Well, training is about the physiology, it's about communication, it's about, you know, the physical fitness part. Management is about recruitment, motivation, understanding accounting, understanding also, you know, if you move into marketing, the sales process, how to bring in people, how to market. It's the business part of personal training or gym facility management. So in this part, then you need the information that are different than the information required for exercising and physiology. Okay, so people who have business background, this is simple for them. All the examples are into the fitness field. But people who come from a fitness background and they want to develop into management or open their own place, okay, or know how to sell their personal training, you know, sessions more, then fitness management, fitness marketing becomes important. Coming up very soon, starting very soon, mindfulness. Now, with the increased stress level, with the COVID and the increased stress level worldwide, you know, people are trying to find solution how to control this. In the lifestyle fitness coach, we talk about different technique, but here we go directly, strictly into mindfulness. The breathing technique using mindfulness. Now it's so famous, mindfulness, because so much research in positive psychology is done on mindfulness. When people cannot control their mind, they keep jumping from one idea to another, they keep feeling stressed, okay, then they want to practice mindfulness. So if you're into this kind of meditation, mindfulness, deep breathing, okay, then when you get a client who's highly stressed and asking you, what can I do? Exercise is good, but it's not enough. Then also you can coach them into mindfulness. So we start the first part as mindfulness as a student, learning mindfulness. You need to know how to apply it for, let's say, at least 2 months. Make sure that, yes, it's something you like, because let's say if your brain is jumping from one idea to another, and then you are someone who's under stress all the time, it doesn't make sense to come and tell your client, you know, don't worry, I'm going to teach you relaxation technique and mindfulness. So we want to make sure that, yes, you like it, it's in your system, you want to apply it, and then you can move into the teacher training course. How can you teach your client mindfulness? And this could be an added value into your training. You know, I remember one time a girl came, she couldn't gain weight. She was under a lot of stress. She kept eating, training, couldn't gain weight. When I gave her a breathing technique of relaxation, after 10 days, she was able to sleep so well. After 2 weeks, she gained like 2 kilograms and she felt really great. Okay, just by some relaxation technique. All right, so sometimes this part, not some, actually, it's all the time, very important, working on the mind. We also have workshops. What's the difference between a workshop and a certification course? A certification course usually is longer. It have an exam at the end. And once you pass the exam and the project, you receive the certificate. A workshop, you attend, you take ideas. Usually it's about certain techniques, certain exercise specified in something. And then once you take it, you finish, you take a certificate of attendance without a certification, just a certificate of attendance. It states how many hours did you attend. This can be used to renew your certificate. And the beautiful thing about workshop, you don't need to go study for an exam. You don't need to do an exam. And then you just receive your continuing education. And if you are training, you take an idea and then the next day you go and apply it directly to your client. So it works really well. So what are the workshops that we have? Postural correction workshop, how to evaluate the posture of your client and what are the exercises you can give them to have a better correct posture. So this is a one-day workshop. Three-dimensional core workshop, how to train the core, not just the regular exercises, in a functional way with the functional training and all of this, but this is specifically functional training for the core, how to train the abs in a more functional way and a creative way. So this is also fun. It's a one-day workshop. Very good. We have a new workshop, didn't include it here yet. Okay, we gave it and we're going to give it again. It's exercise for pregnant women. What to do in the first trimester, the second trimester, third trimester, after delivery. Okay, what are the precautions and what are the proper exercise that can help a woman stay active and fit during her pregnancy? So that's also a workshop. All right. Almost at the end. You're going to get a break very soon. All right. So we also mentioned in our courses, we have the ACSM certification. We have the ACSM approved provider. And one thing we also recommend is usually when you take the different courses, you are actually taking different chapters of ACSM examination. You know, so every course is like a chapter in the book for ACSM personal trainer certification. So it's one thing we do recommend is that when you take information, you understand some of it and some of it is going to go. When you start training people and review your information, you're going to retain more, all right, and know how to actually explain those information easily. But some of it is going to go. If after a year or two from you taking the info, applying it on your client, and then you decide to study again for an exam, it's wonderful because ACSM is mostly self-study. A lot of things you can get it online. The book, you study it. And then this is going to help you review everything that you took before. The exam, it's not hard, but it covers basically all these courses. So when I say the professional personal trainer diploma, nutrition, the sports nutrition, life coaching, post-rehabilitation, okay, some fitness management, fitness marketing, athletic fitness training, and of course, those two courses. In the ACSM, it's basically in one exam. So it's good after you take all this material, you review it all to apply for an exam. And this is going to help the information to be retained more because now you're working, you're reviewing, and then you're explaining directly to your client, then those information will stay here and forever. Okay, so it's good to restudy and then redo this. This is something we certainly recommend. This is our team, still growing. So already some of you met Nidal. Okay, JP, Haitham, Sally, myself, Mirna, Nicholas, Shadi, Ghada, and Nazi. So different people, different courses that I mentioned. Okay, and the team is also still growing. Okay, so we also have sometimes one-on-one instruction. So sometimes people, they miss a session, something they don't understand. This is also, we're giving this on Zoom, personal training education. All right. And in many places, we help also give job opportunities. When gyms ask us, we give them list of name of people who are certified with us. So keep us posted whenever you're looking for jobs, just in case. Make sure you're following us on Facebook, Instagram. Okay, you can check our website. In the UAE, there is also Health Business UAE, Health Club Business UAE, Instagram. Okay, so you can also follow. So make sure you're with us. This way you're updated, and then we'll be happy that you're joining our expanding team of trainers. And this sum up the presentation of the different SPI courses. So basically, if you have question, just let us know.